Hi, hello. I'm making this video for anyone who it might help. Also for myself. I wish had I known everything that was going to happen from the beginning, I would have documented everything, but I didn't. So I'm also kind of making this video for myself so I can, if I ever want to look back on it, I can. Today is March 5th. No, April 5th, 2023. And this past Monday, I guess I officially got diagnosed with ovarian cancer, stage 1C. It still feels kind of weird saying it. I kind of just got the goosebumps right now. Anyways, so if it might help anyone, I hope it does. I know when I was first told I had it, wasn't for sure yet. I remember I was looking on YouTube trying to find videos just to see other people's experiences. So if this helps anyone, then I'm glad it does. Anyways, so just a little backstory. For the past about like almost 3 years, probably even 3 years. I say two just to make myself feel a little bit better, but it's probably been 3 years, honestly, that I've been having I had a lot of abdominal pain, like a dual pain. I always felt bloated. I probably like 80% of the week of like 7 days, like out of the 7 days in 1 week, I probably felt bloated like 5 to 6 days. But there was days where I did feel normal, which is probably why it took me forever to go to the doctor, because I just thought it'll go away. Or I also thought it was constipation, because I did have a lot of constipation. So I had bloating, constipation. My back was hurting a lot of the time. Now that I look back, it's like the symptoms were all there, but I just kept brushing it off, saying it was fine, that I was okay, that nothing was wrong. So yeah, I had back pain. Like I said, a lot of abdominal pain, a lot of frequent urination. I had pretty much all the symptoms. Yeah. But like I said, some days I would feel like perfectly fine, which is why I never really went to the doctors. And first of all, I am like the number one scaredy cat. I hate going to the doctors. I never go to the doctors. But I guess eventually I ended up convincing myself to go. I am paying like health insurance, every month. So look, okay, I'm paying all this money for my health insurance. Might as well just go and check it out. And I'm really glad that I did. Anyway, so those were all my symptoms. Yeah, but for the most part, I just felt bloated most of the time. Like that's like I told like people, like if I had like $1 for every time I said that I feel bloated, I probably would have had like $1,000,000 by now, because I feel like I was constantly complaining, my stomach hurts, I feel bloated. But I always associated it with me being constipated. But again, constipation is also like another symptom for ovarian cancer. Anyway, so eventually I finally went to the doctors. I went to the doctors in December of 2022. And he did feel my abdomen. He said it did feel kind of swollen. So he scheduled me for an ultrasound. I went to my ultrasound January 11th of 2023, and during the ultrasound I didn't want to look at the technician. I didn't ask any questions. Honestly, I thought they were just gonna tell me like, oh, like you're just backed up or something like that. But about like a week later, I got a phone call from my doctor's office, and they wanted me to come in because they got the results for the ultrasound, and they wanted to talk to me. At this point, I just had a feeling that it was not good. And like I said, I stress really easily. I get nervous really easily. So I was really, really scared to know what they were going to say. I assumed it wasn't good since they wanted to tell me like in person and not over the phone. All they told me over the phone was that they were going to schedule me for a CT scan. And I was like, oh, damn. Like I said, I'm really scared of doctors. So I never had a CT scan. I never done anything. I know it's really bad, but I know there's people out there just like me as well that probably never really go to the doctors. So I just want to tell you how it is and how I am, and maybe you might relate. So yeah, I went to the doctor's office, and he told me that in my ultrasound they did find a 20 centimeter mass in my lower pelvic area. And I remember, like, as soon as he told me that, like, I just started crying because he told me, like, you're gonna need surgery. And I just thought, like, oh my gosh, me, surgery? Like, how am I gonna get surgery? Like I don't even know how I'm in the doctor's office right now. Like, I'm so scared. Like, how am I gonna get surgery? Like, I'm gonna have to take time off work. Like I just had so many questions, and I just feel like I blacked out for a minute because my mind just, I didn't know what to ask. I guess deep down I knew it wasn't really good. That's why I probably like hesitated for such a long time to go to the doctor's office. But I did ask, like, do you know like what it could be? And he just said no, that it could be like a cystic, like an ovarian cyst, or that it could be like fibromyalgia. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. But he said it could be like many reasons, like many things. So he said he was gonna do more tests. So he scheduled me for an MRI, and so I had the ultrasound January 11th, and then I ended up getting my MRI done on my first MRI, March 3rd. It was with and without contrast, and it was of my abdomen and pelvic area. But you guys, it was such a long journey because my primary doctor, I'm really sorry, but he sucks. That whole office sucks ass. I am currently trying to look for a new doctor because, I mean, I'm grateful that, the first time I went, that they did, schedule me for an ultrasound. I didn't have to like bug them for something. That I'm grateful that they did, quickly send me to do like an ultrasound and then, test and all that. Because I know sometimes it can be hard. Like, you tell them like, oh, I have a pain, and they just kind of disregard you. I'm really grateful they didn't disregard me, but I guess just like their staff, they don't work well. Like, just don't. So the first MRI I got done, like, I should have just had one done, but I didn't. It had, because on the doctor's order, they only did pelvic area for the MRI. It was supposed to be pelvic and abdomen area. So I had to get 2 MRIs done. The second time I went in, I had to, did like the rest, like the abdomen area, which both of them just could have been done on one trip, but back and forth. Anyways, so I got my MRI done, and in the MRI, when they came back, well, first of all, the doctor, when he told me that I had a 20 centimeter mass, he's like, oh, it's the size of a softball, like about a softball. I was like, oh, like that's pretty big. But then when the MRI results came back, he called me over the phone, and I remember he's like, okay, he told me like that my MRI results were in, and that it wasn't 20 centimeters, that it was 25 centimeters big, and that it was highly suspicious for ovarian cancer. Yeah, I remember he's like, you're young. He's like, don't worry. He's like, you're gonna be okay. Like, you just, have to remove it, I'm gonna refer you to all these doctors, and you just try to get it done, okay? Just try to like try to get the surgery done as soon as possible. And I was like, okay, and I remember like after he hung up, I just started crying. Yeah, it was really hard. I'm okay now. So again, this doctor scheduled me for like a surgeon, for an OBGYN. But the surgeon, you guys, I called the surgeon so many times. They never got back to me. Never. Not even up until now. It's been like 2 months, and they still, like, not that I care anymore, not that it matters, but I'm telling you, all these, I went through so much with all these doctors. I went to go see an OBGYN because he referred me to an OBGYN. I went to go see an OBGYN, and the OBGYN didn't even look at my MRI results, and he was like, oh, he's like, don't worry, it's just an ovarian cyst. He's like, you're too young. He's like, I don't think it's anything bad. He's like, I don't think it's cancer. You're too young. It's just an ovarian cyst. He's like, but it is really big. You look like you're 5 to 6 months pregnant. He's like, it's really big. We got to get it out now. And this doctor, I felt like he was really pushy. I didn't feel comfortable with him. he was like, I'll do the surgery, I'll do it, I can do it, I've done these surgeries so many times. Like, he was just really like insistent that he would do the surgery, and it didn't make me feel comfortable at all, honestly. So after that, like I said, after I saw the OBGYN and stuff, like about like a week later, I went to go get the second MRI done. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, the doctors that my primary doctor referred me to, like I said, they sucked ass. This OBGYN sucked ass. The surgeon never contacted me back, sorry. Me and my boyfriend, which I'm really grateful for, like, he really helped me a lot. He started helping me. He does have a cousin that's like a doctor, and his cousin told us that we should look for a gynecological oncologist. That it's not just an OBGYN that can do that. This is like serious, and we have to look for a gynecological oncologist. And it was kind of hard to find one in my like insurance network, but we eventually did. We also went to City of Hope, but my insurance didn't accept City of Hope, so we just kind of went there for like a second opinion, if you will. But eventually on February 27th, we found a gynecological oncologist that's in my network, my insurance network, and we went to go see him. And we told him about all the results that we have, about the ultrasound, about the MRIs that I got done, that they told me that I have a 25-centimeter mass, that it's highly suspicious for ovarian cancer. And then also, I had also asked if I could get blood work done for the CA-125, which, like, I guess, test for the cancer. And I forgot what that number is. I think like the number should be, I think anything less than 36 is okay. I'm not sure. I forgot to check what the number should be, but mine was really, really high. Like I said, I think regular numbers should be around like the 30s, and mine was at 1150. So my CA, it's a cancer antigen test, blood test, and mine was really, really, really high. It's 1100. Yeah. I guess this whole, like, during everything, like, it felt like it took forever, but it was just only in a matter of a few weeks, honestly. But before getting this test done, I was, like, in a big denial. I was like, oh, like, what if they read the MRI wrong? What if it really is just an ovarian cyst? It's going to be okay. Like, but up until, like, before the test, before the blood test, I was really in denial. And when I saw the results for my blood test for the CA-125, I was like, okay, well, I guess it is cancer. Yeah, and I know, like, depending, like, if your hormones and stuff has a lot to do with the results of your CA-125, but I got it done twice. And even the second time, it was like it was a bit higher. It was like around 1,180. So it had gone up a little bit. But yeah, my CA-125 was pretty high. And anyway, so I told this to my gynecological oncologist when we went to see him. We went to see him on a Tuesday. It was Tuesday, February 27th. And I gave him all of my reports. I gave him my MRI CD. And I'm really grateful for him. I'm really grateful that we found him. I'm getting really emotional. He really helped me out a lot. He took it seriously, and he said, you know what? He's like, we gotta get this out now. He's like, I'm gonna try to send all our referrals to the hospital quickly. I'm gonna try to do as soon as possible. He's like, we're gonna, I'm gonna treat this as an urgent matter, And even on all the refers, he wrote urgent. And yeah, I thought he's like, it might take a little bit for the insurance to accept all the referrals. He's like, but I'm gonna still try to do everything quick. He's like, if the insurance doesn't want to cooperate, I'm gonna send you to the emergency room so we can just get this out now. Okay, but I got a phone call the day after I saw him, and his nurse, helper told me that I was scheduled for the following week, for like a week from then. So I saw this doctor Monday, February 27th, and my surgery was scheduled for Tuesday, March 7th. So it was all pretty quick. And yeah, I think like the whole process of going into the surgery was also really hard. But I thought I'd be more nervous than I was. Honestly, I feel like I was really calm for what it was. So yeah, like I said, sorry about the background noise. My family is really loud. I'm kind of like losing my train of thought here. So yeah, before the surgery, on Monday before the surgery, I had to do like a colon cleanse, you know, and that was a whole other thing. Like I ended up drinking too much water, and then I felt really sick. I ended up throwing up a lot of water because I drank too much water. Anyway, so Tuesday, my surgery was scheduled for 3 p.m. But I ended up getting, because they told me to get there 2 hours early. I ended up getting there like an hour and a half early. No, 2 hours early actually. I got there like around, I forgot what, like 1 maybe. And yeah, I went into like where you get like pre-op, I guess, or yeah, the pre-op room. And when I was waiting in the pre-op bed, ready to get wheeled into the operating room, my surgeon came in, my gynecological oncologist. He came in and he told me, he was like, hey, I saw your MRI results. He's like, I was looking at the CD and I think there's another mass. It's not just one, I think there's 2. And I was like, well, okay, you know, like, well, we're gonna get them both out, right? He was like, yeah. And just mind you, when I went to City of Hope, they wanted to give me a hysterectomy, because they said they really thought that I would need like a second surgery. They were like, if you don't want to do a second surgery, we're just gonna get everything done in one go, get the hysterectomy done. And I mentioned this to my gynecological oncologist. I told him, hey, like, what about a hysterectomy? And he's like, I don't want to do that. He's like, that's like a really invasive surgery. He's like, you're still very young. He's like, I just want to get the tumors out, and then we'll see where we go from there. He's like, if you do end up needing another surgery, he's like, it won't be as invasive as this first one, because the first one that I had was an open surgery. It was a laparotomy, so they had to like cut me open, you know. He's like, if you do end up needing a second surgery in the future, he's like, it won't be as invasive, and you can do it with robotics. I was like, okay, you know. And I'm really grateful for him, you know. He reassured me many times that he was going to try to save as much as of my ovaries as he could, and not do anything else that wasn't needed, like a hysterectomy. He really didn't want to give me a hysterectomy. He didn't want me going into like early menopause, like I said. And I'm really grateful for him, whereas like I feel like other doctors wanted to just give me the hysterectomy and just put me on hormones, you know. So yeah, he told me that there was a second ovarian, I guess, mass, and that, but he was gonna, you know, see first how it was in there and stuff. And prior to this, like, they did say that the good thing is that it didn't seem to have spread, that it was just contained to the ovaries, that it didn't spread to my uterus or anything like that. Anyway, so yeah, I went for my surgery. I was very nervous, but not as nervous as I thought I would be. I felt like I was in a daze, honestly, kind of, and I think I was just emotionally disconnected at some point. But anyway, yeah, I went to my surgery. After my surgery, the day after, I saw the doctor. He came to see me, and he told me that there was a second ovarian mass. They had to remove one ovary, and they removed, I think, 90% of my other ovary. And that's where I stand now. I did go for my checkup appointment, like I said, this past Monday, where he finally told me that I had stage 1C ovarian cancer. And right now I'm at the point where I'm just waiting for my period to come, to get a cycle. He told me that, you know, if I do get my cycle like normal, then there's nothing else, like there's nothing that we can, like, that we have to do, you know. He's like, I tried to save as much as your ovary as I could, but what was it, like only like 10-20% that's left. He's like, but that should be enough for you to get your, you know, your cycles and your period, and you know, your hormones like should be okay if, you know, I do start like getting my period. So that's where I am right now. It's been like a month. I should get my period now. But I still haven't gotten it. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to see him again in 6 weeks. He did schedule me for another MRI or a CT scan. Because first he said CT scan, then he said MRI. So I'm not sure which one it is. And we're going to do blood tests for the CA125. And also he's going to test me for my hormones to see how they're doing. But yeah, that's about it. If I don't end up having my period, then I guess I will kind of go into menopause, but I guess he's gonna give me something for that. And then if I ever do want to get, you know, pregnant in the future, I won't be able to use my own eggs. He told me that I would have to use someone else's eggs. I could use my partner's sperm, but I would have to use someone else's eggs. And then but he's like, I associate the uterus. He's like, you can still carry a child, but if you don't end up getting a period, you can't. I mean, it won't be, well, I can't use my eggs. So that's where I am now. I guess since most of my ovaries are gone, the likelihood of me getting cancer back is, he said, it's 5 to 10%. So I'm really grateful that it's not really high. And I'm really grateful too that even though I feel like I waited a long time, that I still feel like I caught it in time before it spread or got bigger. Yeah, so I had 2 ovarian masses. I have pictures. If you're squeamish, please don't look. I had 2 masses. One was 20 centimeters. The one on the left ovary was 20 centimeters. The one on the right ovary was 24 centimeters. So pretty big for 2 of them together. And both of them together were about like 11 pounds. So no wonder my back was always hurting. My abdomen was always hurting because I had like a baby inside of me, basically. He even told me, he's like, you look like you're 7 months pregnant. Like I was, yeah. So if you're squeamish, please don't look. But here is a picture of, this was my left ovary and this was my right ovary. I know they don't look too big, but he did also put his hand to like do a size comparison. And there you can see that, yeah, they are pretty big. But yeah, I guess I'm just gonna leave it there for now. I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to share my experience a little bit. I hope it helped. I know it, like January, February, like March, it all happened like in basically like 2.5 months. But I felt like it took years. It felt like time was going by slow. And I felt so sad all the time. I was like, I can't believe it. But like I said, I was also like in a really big denial. I was like, what if the doctors are wrong? They gotta be wrong. Like this can't be happening. Like, because I thought like, yeah. I just thought that I was too young. But apparently, you're never too young for anything. Anyways, guys, so I'm just gonna leave it there. If you have any kind of question or anything, you can probably just type it down and maybe I can make another future video answering any questions that you might have. And if not, well then, yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any symptoms, any kind of, like if your body is just telling, if you feel like something's wrong with your body, don't wait, just go. Trust me, if I would have gone like sooner, I don't think they would have gotten so big, but I just didn't go any much sooner. I just kept waiting, and they got really big. So avoid yourself a lot of hassle, guys, and just listen to your body and take care of yourselves as well. All right, thank you for watching. Bye.